that's the thing, right? Like, they're also those people who talk to you. They're also surrounded with like naysayers, with negative people, all this stuff. So you always need to be, I'm kind of like empathetic and show like understanding, and not don't judge people like right away, right? Like,
Absolutely.
don't get too aggressive with them. Just try to understand what's going on and why it's happening, really.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shape of Flower podcast. My name is Farrukh Sultanov, and I'm your host. And joining me today is Daler Sultanov, your co-host.
Thank you.
No problem. Anytime.
Thank
So, in today's episode, we will be discussing the book called The Power of Positive Thinking. And the author is Norman Vincent Peale. Now, we're going to be discussing Lesson 2. If you haven't seen us discussing Lesson 1, please go back on our Spotify, YouTube, or our Instagram pages to watch the first part. However, Daler, in terms of Lesson 2, what is it all about and what does it kind of mean for you?
Well, lesson 2 is about, it's basically it's about your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Your attitude is everything. Your attitude determines your entire life, right? So if you have negative attitude, right, or attitude that or you have a feeling of everything is bad, I'm gonna have a bad day, my no one loves me, my relationship is going into and the world is ending, my investments are going down, have to have like car bills, I parked and no one got a ticket and I got the ticket, so obviously your life will be hell. And the problem is here is really you, and your attitude, not maybe you, but your attitude.
So, okay, like you've described like these really great examples, but how does a person go about changing their attitude, right? Because it's so hard, right? Like, especially we all come from different places, right? Some of us have went through like different traumas, different we have different things in our lives. How does a person go about changing and becoming a positive person or a positively lenient person?
Mm-hmm. Well, Farrukh, there are many ways. You can get a notebook and start like writing. I've heard like you can write three positive things every day, kind of like at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, or when you get a chance. Just sit down, think about like 3 things that happened to you today, like good things, right? And that's the thing, it don't have to be big, right?
Absolutely.
Even like if you today, let's say you washed the dishes, let's say, right? And usually you spend like, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of washing the dishes, and but exactly today, you finished in 10.
I'm telling you, my parents would say something suspicious about that. The dishes aren't clean.
But no, so they don't have to be big, very small, but like they have to be positive, right? Or let's say you don't usually talk to people, you don't socialize much, but today you spoke to one person, right? And you didn't speak a lot. You say, hey, how you doing?
Absolutely. And I think another like key aspect of becoming a positive person, and this kind of goes back to our first lesson, is you need to start believing in yourself and visualizing you achieving your goals. Because it's so easy to stay in this rut, and be down and say, I don't know if I can achieve this, right? And that's usually what pushes people down in terms of their attitude. But once you start visualizing, once you start believing more into yourself and gaining that confidence, I think it can change a person instantly.
It's true. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes, let's say when I really don't want to go to my emergency room, and because I don't know if you guys know, I work in the emergency room. I'm an emergency room nurse, and sometimes you have those days where you don't really want to go to work. And then what I do, coming back to lesson 1, I visualize and I start to believe that I'm going to have a very good, solid like shift. That I'm gonna go and I'm gonna help people. People will be happy. I'm going to make a difference in people's lives, and I could visualize. That people smile, people are happy. And that helps me. That helps me. That kind of brings like purpose back into my life, and I feel better, and then I go to work.
I really like this technique, right? Like
Yeah.
in terms of how you talked about visualization and your work, because so many people, like we know the statistics, a lot
Right.
of people, or a good chunk of them,
Right.
right, do not like their work necessarily, and hence they need to refocus, right, and find that purpose. Why am I going there, right? What am I getting out? It's sort of like the reward system. I remember reading this in like a gamification book where it was kind of framing it around a business and
Right.
how you need to put a reward system where a person does some type of game or does some type of activity on your website and they feel good about it and they want to keep coming back and keep coming back. And I feel like that visualization technique that you've spoken about, like it helps people who may not have like who like may struggle because like it's long hours, it's hour shifts and stuff, coming back to work every day.
It's true. It's true. And if you like that's the thing about visualization, right? Like when you visualize, you just kind of helping yourself, but you don't really have like very tangible rewards, right?
Mhm.
Like in gamification theory, like right, and the books that you read, like I read it too. So sometimes you do get a more of a tangible kind of result. And
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, like when it comes to nursing and when people are being thankful and happy, it's somewhat tangible too, right? And that's your point. Like I really liked it. But what I try to say, don't do it because you can get the reward. But
Yeah.
if this is who you are, right? This is what motivates you, like the reward, right? Because we have, some careers that are related to like sales,
Yeah.
right? And that's the thing. You work hard, you get like reward at the end. If this what moves you, if this what motivates you,
And
it's all cool.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like
No,
by no
absolutely not.
means. It
No.
all depends on the person, right?
Exactly, exactly. If this is what moves you, hey, that's fine. You do you, But if let's say it kind of money doesn't move me, like I'll give you an example. Like like I when I go to work, I never think about money,
Hmm.
right? And that's
Yeah.
why I still work for the hospital, and I don't go into kind of private
Private system. Yeah.
private kind of system, right?
Hmm.
I work for the public system. We do have like a pay scale there. Money is just kind of minimum, right?
Hmm.
But if you go for let's say private companies, they kind of you get paid like maybe twice as much. I know places where they pay you like $80 an hour, $90 an hour, right? I don't get paid this kind of much. I paid like maybe half of it,
Yeah.
maybe less, So, but in my case, the reward is like not money. The reward is I get like those positive emotions from people. Like I provide a quality care, and I get like oh, like thank you so much for doing it, and I could tell that they mean it.
Mhm.
Because I believe like especially here in North America, the
Yeah.
word the words thank you are so overused that you can hear it like everywhere nowadays, like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. But
Especially Canadians are associated with that.
right, so but in most cases they
Yeah.
don't really mean it, right? But when I work in emergency room and I hear thank you from my patients,
It's a different.
that's a
Thank you.
different thank you.
Yeah.
You really mean, like they really mean it, and when it kind of hits you, you're like, wow, like I don't really care about the money, like
Yeah.
all I care is like that I've done something good, and that person felt good because of me.
Absolutely. And like to go back right to the positivity attitude like
Right.
topic. Um, I think another suggestion that like we can recommend is if people want to have a positive attitude, they must essentially take away the things that don't make them happy,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like for instance, like using a high school example, right? In grade 9, I remember I was being part of like so many different clubs, and that like really, really overwhelmed me. So I decided to focus on the ones that I really, really enjoyed. Like for example, student council, debate, because I enjoy public speaking, and that made me more happier. Also, that can connect to people, right? There's certain people that make you happy, others that may not make you as happy, right? So you need to know how to divide yourself from
Good points.
those people,
Yeah.
those clubs, those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Spreading yourself too thin it's a huge no. You know why? Because you start hitting all those like as you said, like you're doing like wrestling, you're doing like what
Student
was it, student
council, yeah.
council, like you name it. So it's a lot of stuff, and when you don't really have time, you start feeling bad about it. Start feeling bad, and then you kind of start putting yourself down, and other like negative stuff, kind of come out of it, right? So definitely spreading yourself too thin. You always need to be honest with yourself, and know what's important to you, and what's less important to you, and what's not important to you at all, right?
Absolutely.
So that's, yeah, I feel like that's a great point. Another great point that you mentioned is like friends, right?
Yeah.
If you have kind of like naysayers, as people now like call them.
And there are a good number of them out there.
Oh, there are a lot of them out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
right? And they, like, you kind of surround yourself with naysayers, and they, when you say, "Hey guys, you want to do this?" or "I want to do that," like, and they say, like, "Man, like, why? Why just sit down and do nothing?" Like, look at, I don't know, like, look at Kevin.
Yeah.
He never done anything, and he's like all cool and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So you have to be, again, honest. You have to always, like, I feel like one, like, wise man once told me, always think what people tell you, right? And why do they tell you this? Why? Right?
Interesting.
Are
Yeah.
they trying to help you, or are they trying to hurt you?
Mhm.
Because there's always like something there, or maybe both, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because like that's usually how it goes. Person either wants to help you or wants to hurt you, or maybe it's both.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like that's a very interesting point, right? Because throughout our lives we meet so many different people, right? And as you said, there's a good number, a lot of them are like who could be naysayers. That's why it's very, very important to keep on having that positive attitude and pursuing what you want to achieve.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so vital in our lives, right? And we all battle and struggle with that, right? Because we do want to be perceived well within our peers. However, it's at those times, in those difficult decisions where you have to take a step back, you have to really analyze and visualize your goals and say, I want to achieve this, and that's why I need to do this, right? I need to put my friends to the side, and I need to do this for myself.
Yeah.
And that's very important.
And like, I agree with you, and I feel like sometimes, like, when those naysayers, they cross the line, you need to really ask them, right? Like, hey, again, Kevin, like, you telling me all this negative stuff, why?
Yeah.
Right? Like, why don't you believe in me? Right? And see what they tell you, right? If it will be some sort of like lame joke, then hey, it is what it is, but now that, or if they're like really good friends, because that's the thing, right? Like, sometimes we're young, we say things that we don't mean to, and maybe they will think about it, so hey, maybe I'm hurting my friend, and I don't mean to hurt him. It just, I just, that's the thing, right? Like, they're also those people who talk to you, they also surround with like naysayers, with negative people, all this stuff. So you always need to be I'm kind of like empathetic, and show like understanding, and not don't judge people like right away, right? Like,
Absolutely.
don't get too aggressive with them. Just try to understand what's going on, and why it's happening, really. you know. Yeah, but like attitude is very important, guys. If you really want to be successful, you you that's the thing, right? Like if you have a positive attitude, it's you're one step closer to success. And because look at all those millionaires and billionaires, they you can't say that they're negative, like you name me a millionaire or billionaire and tell them that, hey, they're like negative. Yeah, they could be negative about some of the stuff, but overall when it comes to their businesses, they're not negative.
They're
They're positive,
thinking.
they're hopeful,
Yeah,
they believe in themselves, they believe in their businesses. That's why they're going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And you put it perfectly. So thank you to everyone for listening to this episode of the Shape of Flower podcast. And now we'll be returning for lesson 3 of this incredible book of the power of positive thinking. If you haven't already listened to lesson 1, which talks about the believing in yourself and visualizing your goals, super, super cool episode that we released. Please check it out on our Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.